Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Dom and Josh Love Island Weekly Recaps. It has been a massive week again on the show, and where do we even start with what's happened this week?
There's been so much happened this week. We've obviously had Casa and Moore, where there's been a lot of heads being turned, and one of the main couples, Curtis and Amy, mate, they're pretty much done.
I feel like they need to bring in a physiotherapist as the next arrival because the necks have been turned so much. I don't know if they can actually be turned back.
They've all got sore necks.
I agree with you. I feel like Casa and Moore did its job with what it wanted to do. The villa's been turned up on its head. Couples are all over the shop. We don't know what is going to happen over the next few days, but that's what makes this episode and what's happened so good.
Yeah. So obviously there's been so much happen this week that what we want to do is we just want to break down all the couples to get you guys back on track with what's going on. There's been a lot of chopping and changing. New Islanders, obviously with Casa and Moore, and obviously even the original couples that were pretty safe at the time, they're all split up. So, you know, Tommy and Molly-Mae, they're probably the only couple at the moment that are, you know, heading towards that win.
They're the Romeo and Juliet story at the moment of the Love Island Villa. They've stayed strong with all the things that's been thrown their way since the Mora drama that came in. You know, Tommy's head was looking like it may have been turned a little bit. He's obviously stuck strong now, and they're moving forwards and onwards to really solidifying themselves as a romantic couple.
Absolutely. I think they're probably, at the moment, the ones that are going to win. I can't see any other couples coming in and getting ahead of them.
You can't rule out some of the other couples, though. You know, it's not just a one-horse race. So I feel like there are other couples coming in, but at the moment, it looks like those two are the standout winners. But you really never know what can happen in Love Island Australia. In saying that, guys, if you missed any of the episodes this week, make sure to check into 9 Now, which has all the episodes. It also has some unseen bits as well. So remember to check up with that now so you don't miss anything that's happening with the show. So we want to touch on Casa and Moore. And the thing that really stood out for me was that with Casa and Moore, you're really sort of in the unknown as to what your couple's doing and what is going on with the other villa.
Absolutely. So there's obviously a lot of challenges that went on. A lot of them were kissing challenges. And obviously what happens is they're obviously in different villas. So, you know, the people in this villa don't know what the other people are doing. And when the challenges are going on, you sort of have an idea of who's probably hooking up with another girl in the other villa because it's like, you know, the shortest person has to kiss the tallest person. So then the other people are thinking, who's the shortest and who's the tallest in the other villa?
The thing that I found really funny was with the challenges that you'd be in a challenge and you'd all be saying, all right, the shortest person has to kiss the tallest person. You'd all be laughing and then there'd be one person going,
oh shit, that's Tommy.
That's Tommy. And it sort of ruined their whole time right at that second. So I thought the challenges were really fun, but you could see the person who was worried about their couple at the time, which was...
Absolutely, especially with, say, Curtis and Amy. I think it was the tallest guy has to kiss their favourite girl at the moment, and Curtis obviously was the tallest guy, and then that's straight away alarm bells ringing for Amy, so...
What I also found in the challenges, which I love, was Anton finally got to kiss.
Finally.
He finally got to kiss a lot of girls, and I feel like Anton may be in the clear with Belle. I mean, what do you think? What do you think about that?
Mate, I don't know. I think they're obviously moving pretty quickly. She's finally shaving his ass, which is a massive stepping stone.
His mum will be sad. His mum can't shave his bum
and it's
anymore.
Her birthday today.
Oh, what a terrible way to give her a birthday present.
Anyway.
I feel like those two are doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Whether they stick together and move forward as a couple throughout the Love Island experience will be interesting to see because Anton's a very liked character. If I was coming on as an arrival, I would say he'd be the first person that I would be going for.
Absolutely. And I think as a new Islander coming in, I think they do sort of have in their minds, how can I stay on the show the longest?
Some of them.
I think Belle's probably... You know, I think Anton's a really likeable person, so at the same time, she's probably actually, you know, liking him. But at the same time, you just don't know if she's there for the wrong reasons and just wants to be getting that exposure, you.
I tell you someone at the moment who is looking like all the wrong reasons are coming at him is Michael. He has, I mean, I feel like he needs to get police security when he leaves the villa at the moment. He needs to be under watch and under safety because what has happened with Michael and Amber has just dropped an atomic, as we said in the villa, a domshell is what they refer to you.
A domshell.
But it's been a bombshell with Michael and Amber. What's your thoughts on this whole situation?
Mate, I think we've got differentiating views on this. We've already discussed this, but Amber is not Michael's type, and I could tell that from the start. I could tell that Michael thought she was a bit immature. I think that he was always looking for someone that he just got along with a bit more. And I think Joanna's that girl. And I think for Michael to go with his heart, I think that says a lot about him, and good on him.
I think it's fine for Michael to go with his heart. What I don't think is fine is that he comes out with the argument saying, I've bit my tongue for 2 weeks, you didn't really open up to me, you know, you've done all these things, how could you not know this? Why didn't he tell anyone?
He did.
Who did he tell?
He told Amber the whole time. He said, you're not opening up to me. For weeks and weeks he was telling her that.
Yeah, and they were slowly progressing in a good direction. I mean, Amber and them were strong. They were a strong couple. I thought Michael would be the last person to have his head turned.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's only so much you can say to a person in terms of, you know, I'm pushing to get you to open up, I'm pushing to get you to open up. And then are they opening up just for you, or are they opening up because they actually want to see if this relationship can go somewhere?
My question to you is, do you think that Joanna going into Casa Amor, Michael truly was unhappy with his relationship with Amber, or he just saw a really good-looking, attractive girl and he's played the whole, I was biting my tongue, you know what I mean? What's my question to you? Do you think
you're probably right? You're probably right. It's probably just an excuse. It's probably, you know, she's a good-looking girl, Joanna. It's probably just, mate, she's hotter than Amber. It's probably, mate, it is what it is. It's Love Island. It's not Friendship Island. And obviously some of them just want to go in there for a bit of fun, so...
Next question for you is, what did you think of the awkwardness of when Amber walked in to seeing Michael with a new girl under his arm? What did you think of that?
I did feel for her. She sort of played it off with a bit of a laugh. I saw her having a little giggle. And
it was a brave smile.
That was just her way to sort of cope with it.
Yeah, yeah.
But deep down, she was burning.
She was burning. Yeah, I thought that Amber actually handled the situation better than what I would have anticipated her to do.
Absolutely.
I mean, in the past, we've seen Amber sort of act on impulse. She's she's been a bit immature with the way she's dealt with things in the past. I thought that the way she was dealing with it was actually quite mature.
Yeah, yeah.
I felt that Michael handled it terribly.
He did handle it terribly.
I thought he handled it poorly.
As he was in the wrong, technically, you know, he's ditched Amber and he sort of just had a lot of hate and aggression towards Amber, even still when he was in the wrong.
He refused to apologise.
Yeah.
Refused to apologise.
Yeah.
And I thought that, okay, you may have thought that you're following your heart and you're doing the right thing, but Amber's still cut. Amber's still being brushed aside. She's had a pie thrown in her face. Like, say sorry. Don't
he should have been a bigger man. And
he was kind of getting defensive, saying like, you know, I'm going with my heart. I'm biting my tongue. I haven't been myself for the last 2 weeks. And he's pretty much saying, this is all your fault. I'm just trying to do what's best for me. And I understand that, but you kind of need to...
He did have a lot of people coming at him though. He had Anna sort of coming straight at him saying that he's done the wrong thing when she had done the exact same thing to Jordan, which I found that very rich from her. So it was hard, you know, he was copying it from all angles.
Yeah.
So for him just to go over to Amber, you know, it probably wasn't the right time when he was doing it. But Anna, honestly, she's done the exact same thing as him with Ovi against Jordan.
I thought that was a bit rich coming from Anna. She was very quick to jump on Michael's case. And I understand that Amber's her best friend in there. So, you know, you want to stick up for your best friend. And Amber was clearly really hurt. So Anna was trying to take the initiative and trying to stick up for her friend. A lot like I do when I see you're struggling, you know, with a lot of situations. I have
a lot of girls in life.
Yeah, a lot of girls and that sort of thing. I've got to stand up and protect you and show how the world works. So a little bit like that. But I thought that Anna was a little bit out of line to point the finger and say, you know, how dare you treat Amber like this? How dare you come back with someone new in the villa? When, hang on, didn't you leave Jordan out to dry? You did the exact same thing. And it took me a few minutes to work that out.
Yeah. And isn't it funny that now they're back into the villa together, she's sort of having second thoughts about it, and I think she'll get back with Jordan.
The classic, you know, out of sight, out of mind. And,
exactly.
And that's what happened. She thought that Ovi was going to answer all her prayers. She was like, this guy's amazing. He's got the full package. He's 6 foot 100. You know,
6 foot 100.
You know, he's shredded. He's ripped. He's got the chat. You know, she was saying that that's her ideal man.
Yeah.
But now she's back in the villa and Jordan is in the frame and in the picture again. She's saying, well...
And it does show his loyalty to her that he didn't go with anyone in Casa Amor.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan handled the situation very well. He didn't blow up at her. He just sort of said, you know...
Is what it is. Now he's just pushing for her again now, so...
Yeah, yeah. What did you think about the date between Jordan and Anna that they
It was
had.
very sly. Like Anna had her back to Ovi and was just saying all these little digs like, I want to kiss you, like.
Yeah, I thought it looked so awkward that Ovi and Amber were just
talking about their date at the time.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
that's literally the worst date when you're talking about someone else's date. That
Yeah.
just goes to show your date's going terribly.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was clearly trouble, amongst that situation. But, speaking of trouble and trouble in paradise, I want to ask you, Curtis and Amy,
Mate,
mean, what has happened
What is
there?
going on? This week has shown so much. I think
The head turning.
the head turning is. Mate,
like
I don't know. Is Curtis genuine or what?
He's like a clown at the Easter show, they're going like that with their heads, like that. That's what I feel like's going on at the villa at the moment. I thought that Curtis was so safe.
Mate, I thought he was the
Amy
nicest
safe.
guy.
I thought he was, sold on Amy. I
Yeah.
thought that they were 100% going to go all the way to the end.
Married, 3 kids.
Married, 3 kids.
A house in Beverly Hills.
At the end of the year, yeah. House in Beverly Hills.
I don't know. I just said.
You need to get your geography right, man.
I know.
But I thought they were safe in their relationship, and
Yeah.
to see Curtis telling the Islanders in Casa Amor that he's having second thoughts about Amy after, what was it, a half a day?
It was 2 chats with Jordan, one of the new girls.
Yeah.
Literally 2 chats, and now she's off with Danny, so that's all done and dusted. But, how can you go from 2 chats from 4 weeks? Like 4 weeks getting to know a girl and then have 2 chats and turn your head.
Yeah, it makes me think that was Curtis as genuine as he was making out to Amy as?
Mate, I think he's got the gift of the gab. I think he knows exactly what to say at the right time. He's a bit like you, Josh. He knows what to say when to say it.
I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
It's an insult.
I thought it was really interesting to see the way Curtis was acting towards Jordan. As you said, after 2 chats with her, he was sort of saying, what's your feelings towards me? Would
Yeah.
your head be turned if I was to potentially show some interest in you? Like, what would
Yeah.
your thoughts be? And Jordan was she almost was scared to even, look into the situation.
Yeah.
She didn't even want to dive into it at all.
Straight up, she said, no, it's too early. You've only talked to me for 2 chats.
Yeah.
Just stick with Amy.
And then that was I was, cringing watching at the telly
Mate,
because
it was
I was like,
so
he's just
awkward.
opened up to her and said that I would couple up with you.
And then even still, he says, I'm still going to go for it.
I was like, what
And
is-
then obviously he's gone back to the villa, or the girls have come back to the villa, and he's told Amy everything. Now, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's best for him to say everything, or do you think he should have just kept it to himself?
I think it's good, and it was probably the best option for Curtis to get everything out on the table and be completely honest. But Curtis almost has the attitude of, all right, I'm being honest with you, I'm being open with you, I'm telling you everything, now I'm scot-free. I'm off the hook.
Nah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, it doesn't really work like
Nah.
that. I mean, I was watching it at home with a few housemates, and we were all disagreeing about the situation, which is really good because it's different ways to take it on. Me personally, I think that you can't just sit there and go, I might couple up with someone again, and I'm just being honest with you. And, what else did he say? He was saying that, I did try and couple up with Jordan, and I'm sorry about it.
I'm sorry about it.
That was a terrible Curtis impression. But
Yeah.
he was sort of saying that if I'm open with you, I'm honest with you, and I tell you all these things, it lets me off the hook and it puts me in the clear, and that's not how
really
it works.
doesn't.
It's not
it
how it
literally
works.
opens up another can of worms. But, I think he did the right thing. I think, she was going to find out eventually. Girls talk. And I think Jordan was always going to tell her, which she did.
Yeah.
But,
I honestly, my heart was breaking when I saw Amy come back from the recoupling, and she had such a bright smile on her face. She was so excited.
And he's literally, in his recoupling speech, he's literally just pretty much told everyone that his head was turned, this, and this. And then she walks in and, she's all happy, but really everyone just knows that he was looking elsewhere.
Well, you could have made a whole episode on the facials of the other Islanders. Did you see Maura's face? Did you see Lucy's face? You could have had a whole 50-minute episode on just the facials of people, what they thought about that. But I felt so sorry for her. Amy's said she's never had a boyfriend. She's never been in love. She's never had these.
She's had a half boyfriend now.
I think he's now a quarter boyfriend because of everything that's happened.
They're
but
done.
She doesn't know how to react to this situation. You saw she had her phone out. She was making notes on her phone
on what to say.
And I was like, it looks like she was studying for a
Look,
test.
I think we all do that. You add up all the different things that are going wrong, and once you have an argument, you've got it all there.
Yeah, that's true. But you kind of want to don't show them that you've got the list. You want to
exactly.
pretend like you've had it in your head the whole time.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what to do. She's going to all her friends for advice. And the thing that's annoying me is that you can tell she's really taking on board all the advice that the girls are telling her.
Yeah.
They're telling her, you know, oh, he's a dickhead, or
How about Mora telling her he's a dickhead, but now she's cracking on?
I feel like Mora is a robot that's controlled by the producers to add cool, like, crazy storylines.
Different
like,
effects.
I will go for you. I'm keen on you. Teach me how to dance. You know what I mean?
Teach me how to.
You know what I mean? Like, what is going on with Mora? Like, last thing about Amy and Curtis. Do you see a future with those two? Can it work out? Can it move forward from this?
Absolutely not. I think that's done. Obviously, right there when Curtis could have said, like, let's have one more crack at it, he didn't. He stuck to his guns and he said, look, I can't promise you my head won't turn again. So I think they're done. I don't think Mora and Curtis will kick off because I just think they're totally different people.
Yeah.
I think Curtis will wait for a new girl to come in.
Curtis and Mora?
Absolutely not.
Not happening?
Not happening. Your thoughts?
I mean, there's a shot of the next episode where he's teaching her how to dance. It looks like they're getting close.
Mate, I teach you how to dance and we don't have together.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that I don't see a good future for Amy. I actually can see her being off the
I can see Amy being done. She's voted off next.
Or recoupled off the show.
Recoupled
I
off.
can't see it being a bright future for her.
What will happen is Moira, if it's the girls, Moira will go for Curtis. And if it's the guys, Amy will go. Because none will go for her.
Speaking of someone who probably has been close to going a few times, Lucy.
Oh, mate, she's still on the show.
What is going on with her?
Where's this blonde guy that she's with?
I feel sorry for that guy.
I actually, to be honest, I don't even remember his name. He has had zero screen time.
George. We should be doing research. We're on a Love Island talk show and you don't know the people's names. But George is his name. I'll save you there. What I don't understand is that Lucy has picked this guy, George. She necked on with him, she kissed him, she said she was really interested. And then as soon as they've gone back into the villa, it's like they've not even spoken one word to each other.
Legit.
I mean, the new
Islanders,
the new guys mainly, need to be given a chance by these girls.
I feel like there's been so much that's gone on since they've gone back into the villa that both George and Ovi have sort of been pushed to the side, and that the other guy that Mora's coupled up with, they've all been sort of pushed to the side, and they're like probably a third priority.
Yeah.
And the other priorities are Anna and Ovi and Michael and Amber. So it's been a bit hard for these new guys to get the screen time.
Okay, guys, like every week, we are going to go to questions now from you guys. And as we've been doing from week to week, we don't know what questions are actually going to be asked. We're reading them off the cuff.
Straight off the cuff.
We're a people show, so we're doing this for the people.
All right, so first up, we've got one from hellsbell_86. And that is, how do you think Casa and Moore would have gone down in your version?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like there would have been fireworks from the get-go.
Mate, I reckon heads would have been turned left, right and centre.
Yeah.
I think literally everyone that was coupled up, it would have been destroyed straight off the bat.
It would have been really interesting to see what people from which couples would have really been turned, because there's a lot of people in our show saying that I'll never ever look anywhere else, you're the only girl for me in here, you don't have nothing to worry about. But as we've seen in Love Island UK, that was said many times, and the people that said that weren't always truthful about that. So
100%.
I thought that if that was in our show, it would have been really, really interesting, and I thought it would have been a lot of great viewing. Okay, next question. This one is from Rosie.Jackson, and her question is, what was the hardest thing you had to overcome whilst in the villa?
I would say probably the fact that, if you don't have any, romance going on for a couple of weeks, I feel like you sort of get a little bit down about yourself. So, what are you about to say? I can see something coming.
I thought you were going to make a joke at me because I didn't have much romance.
No, I think we both sort of had that. You don't have a romance for a couple of weeks, and that's what you got to overcome. You got to really find your feet and realise that you are a good person.
Yes. I thought that the hardest thing for me was that if you struggled to get along with someone as a friend, or they started to do things that you were questioning, you had to live with that person.
Oh.
So you'd walk past them 10 times a day and you sort of just do the old nod of the...
How are you, mate?
How you going? And then you just walk on and you've got to live with that person. So that was something that I've never experienced. And that was pretty hard.
Yep. All right, so we've got a question from Hannah Rose. The rumours on Amy being sent out of the villa for a break recommended by a psychologist.
What's my thoughts on that?
Yeah, what are your thoughts? Do you think it happened and what?
I think it definitely could have happened. When we were inside the villa, our mental state was one of the most important things that they wanted to look after. So if someone was bordering on, starting to really panic or
Tear up
have
every
an
day
anxiety
or-
attack
yeah.
or something like that, the producers would always look after you and make sure that there would be a psychologist to come in and just debrief you.
And there are the different steps. There's the initial, you're just a little bit upset, and then there's the danger steps that obviously if you get towards that, that's when they definitely come in. And I think what's happened with Amy is a pretty big thing, her having her first boyfriend, all that stuff, it's pretty big. So I feel like the psychologist has probably definitely come in.
Yep.
I feel like they, want the well-being of the Islanders first and foremost. So I think it's very likely that happened.
Okay, this is from Hannah Quinn 7, and her question is, surely you agree Lucy should have chosen Stevie instead of George?
I don't think any of them are a good mix for Lucy. So.
I think that she chose George purely on looks. Yeah. I think she had more of a connection with Stevie. Yeah. And I feel like now Lucy's sort of maybe regretting picking George purely because, he looks
There wasn't that banter there. There wasn't that connection. Yeah. He's a little bit boring.
He looks like a Swedish lifeguard or something. I feel like that's what she's after, but they don't really have a connection. He doesn't talk much.
Yeah.
So what a massive week it's been on Love Island UK. But I'll tell you what else is massive. Love Island Australia has their applications open at the moment. Season 2, I would advise so strongly that if you love the show, if you want to do something a bit different, if you want to have an amazing experience, guys, you should apply for Season 2, Love Island Australia.
Absolutely. It changed both of our lives. Josh is still with his missus Amelia. Me and Josh are still best mates. If you don't find love, you find mates. But, obviously it's a massive experience, and I think it's one that you guys should all go for.
That's it.
Stream new episodes 6 p.m. daily on 9 Now.